What is going on? How you doing? Okay, y'all. I know, long time since I've been here on my YouTube channel. However, my old videos are still good, okay? That was my tarot phase, which I'm still in a little bit, but I'm more so into astrology, and I have been since 2014. Anyways, not here for that. Today, we are talking about planning, goal setting, and why most people fail at their New Year resolutions, right? It's because they don't understand what the new year is and what that transition from December 31st to January 1st is. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and help you, hopefully help you plan a better new year. So before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe, y'all. Subscribe to the channel, okay? Especially if you like the content, because I'm going to be coming out with more long-form videos talking about astrology, spirituality, all those good things, but even some lifestyle stuff in there too, because we need to know how we can apply what's going on in the astrology with real life situations, because it's one thing to know astrology, but then it's another thing to know how to apply it practically. And now we're in the Taurus and Scorpio nodes, and so Taurus, North Node, it's more about tangible things, practical use. It's the earth sign, the foundation of things, but also like working hard to get to the bag or whatever it is that you're trying to get to. Okay, so let's start. So if you see me looking down, I have my notes because this is something that I really want to make sure that y'all get. Let's start off first by defining, one, what is the astrological new year? Two, what is the calendar new year? And three, what is your personal new year? Okay, so we'll start with the Astro New Year. Astro New Year actually starts in spring. It's the start of Aries season. So March 21st, 22nd is when Aries season starts. That is the astrological new year. That is when we have a new wave, a new surge of totally new energy. That happens in Aries season. The astro calendar goes from Aries to Pisces. Aries is the first, Pisces is the last. So for 1 through 12, that's what you get, okay? Now, your personal new year is, or what we call your solar return, is what happens on your birthday. When the sun, which is solar, reaches the same exact point in which you were born. So it can either happen the day before, the day of, or the day after your birthday, but typically it's somewhere around that time. So with your personal new year, this is when you can have new energy for yourself to express yourself, and how you want to go about doing certain things, okay? And then we have the calendar new year. The calendar new year is when we have January 1st to December 31st. That is the calendar year, okay? Let's talk about a little bit about how you go forward with understanding when to set new intentions, because you can set new intentions anytime you want to. But the energetic vibration around the new year starting January 1st is a little bit muddy, and so I'm clearing it up. So January is not the start of the new energy, right? So people talk about new year, new me, and that's not what it is. You're still in that same energy of the previous calendar year. However, for example, my birthday is in December. My solar return or my personal new year started on my birthday. So that's my 365 days as an individual where I can set new intentions for myself, for my being. And then in January, I'm still carrying on that same energy, but I'm also still carrying on the same energy from when we had the astrological new year for 2021, which is still going on because we haven't gotten to Pisces season yet. If you think about it, when you want to set new intentions, you want to have brand new goals, when you want to, plan really big things, and these are brand new things or things that you haven't started to work on yet in the previous year, this is something that you want to start in March, okay? You want to start that in Aries season. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the astrology of January of 2022, because the calendar year started off in retrograde. So we had Venus retrograde. Venus is the planet of love, relationships, beauty, and finances. Don't ever forget that. People always associate Venus with love, but Venus also has a lot to do with your money, honey, okay? So, with that being said, when Venus was retrograde, Venus was retrograde when we started 2022 in the sign of Capricorn. So, Capricorn is an earth sign. It's also a cardinal earth sign. So, what does that mean when it's cardinal? This is more of the initiating energy. Okay. So, you have the grounded initiating energy, the goat, in retrograde. So what does that mean? Retrograde means that we're moving backwards. We're taking another look at something, reevaluating, reworking, re-strategizing, all those good things. All the analysis happens in retrograde season. Okay, that's when we go back and we try to rework things, redevelop things, all that. Dot I's and cross our T's, because Capricorn is ruled by the Saturn, the planet Saturn. Saturn rules order, organization. Saturn also rules time, karma. But so with Venus, the planet of love, finances, beauty, all those things, being in retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, we were making sure that we were reworking and re-looking at the things that we had initiated in 2021. Okay, that is what we were doing. If there was anything that you were working on, with work, friendships, relationships, tangible things, because again, this is earth energy. Earth energy is always tangible. It's something that you can touch, taste, feel, something that you can utilize one of your five senses with. That is what earth energy represents. So, we were re-looking at how are we adding value, how are others adding value, true value, right? Not just what you would call intrinsic value. All right. So we had Venus retrograde, and then somewhere around the middle of the month, we had Mercury go retrograde. Now, people make a big deal of Mercury retrograde. Mercury is the only planet that goes retrograde frequently, at least 2 to 3 times a year. So we're used to that energy. Mercury retrograde is just, we are taking another look at the things that, how we've been communicating, what messages and what messaging we've been sending out, and if that's the type of messaging that we really want others to see, hear, or to associate us with. And let's see, I think Mercury went retrograde in Aquarius. Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. Aquarius is fixed air. Okay, aqua does not mean water in astrology. Aquarius is not associated with water. They call it the water bearer, but anyways. So Mercury retrograde in Aquarius is fixed air. So this is your mental. Air is all mental, okay? So when you have the planet of communication in an air sign, which is mental, in retrograde, you're taking another look at your thoughts. But Aquarius also rules the individual. It rules the collective, humanity, higher consciousness. So when you think about that, you think about, okay, well, if Mercury is retrograde in this particular sign, then that means that there are certain things that I've been thinking. Maybe I'm changing some ideologies. Maybe I'm changing some beliefs. Maybe the collective is changing their beliefs on certain things. Or even there's information that's being unfolded, right? Okay, so I'm not going to go through all of the astrological happenings from January. I'm just going to touch on a few of them. Now, one of the biggest things that I see that kind of stifled people's growth or ability to move was Mars being in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, Mars is the planet of action. It's the planet of God of war. It's the planet of getting shit done, right? Or at least getting started. In the sign of Sagittarius, it can be chaotic because Sag does not like to be boxed in, and that doesn't necessarily want to be focused on one particular thing. Sagittarius energy likes to roam freely, do what it wants to do, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna shoot my target over there. Oh, I'm gonna shoot my target over there. And so what happens is you start to initiate a lot of things or wanting to do a lot of things, but you'll have your hands in all these different pockets and nothing will ever get done. Especially because Venus was retrograde and you had Mercury retrograde. So the things that you were trying to communicate, maybe you were trying to communicate about different things, learning new things, wanting to teach others about certain things and stuff like that, or really just trying to understand your messaging when it comes to maybe social media or or understanding or having messaging towards your business or your career or whatever the case is, or even your relationships, right? How are you communicating in your relationships? What is the benefit for each individual in that relationship? So with Mars being in Sagittarius, it can be a little chaotic, okay? But Mars did move into Capricorn. Capricorn energy allows you to get shit done, to stick with it, and to get it done. That's what Capricorn energy helps you to do. So I think, I can't remember the exact date when Mars moved into Mars moved into Cap January 24th. So towards the latter part of January, you should have been seeing somewhat of a transition in being able to get things done. So use that Capricorn energy to help you stick with things and see them all the way through. That's what we want to use Capricorn energy for, is to see some things through, get it done. We also had Venus in Capricorn, and it was sextile to Neptune in Pisces, which is really good. We like when the planets have astro sex. So essentially they are, they are good together. They're working very well together. So you have creativity with the planet of love and hard work in Capricorn. So maybe finding new ways to be creative or finding new inventive ways. You might have been seeing you're getting a lot of what we like to call downloads in terms of new things to implement. Maybe something dealing with your business, because Capricorn has a lot to do with business, especially with real estate. Capricorn rules real estate. So real estate or business in general, or your relationships with yourself or your relationship with other people. It could have even been your relationship with authority figures, because Saturn does include some authority figures as well, because it rules Capricorn. Let's see. We also had the full moon in Cancer. So full moons are about endings and completions, acknowledgments, but also I consider full moons to be like graduations to the next step or the next level. And so with us having Mars and Capricorn, actually Mars didn't come into Capricorn until after the full moon in Cancer. But that energy of Mars moving into Capricorn, which is exaltation, you were able to, kind of nurture yourself more, nurture the things that you've been focusing on, or even just trying to get your bearings on the things that you are trying to accomplish, okay? So let's talk about planning for the astrological new year, or understanding the transition between the astrological new year, the calendar new year, and your personal new year. So being able to merge all three of those time synchronicities together to create a better plan. So first thing you want to look at is go back to your birthday from 2021. So if you were born, because we're already in January, if you're a January baby or a February baby, like early February, whenever this video comes out, you'll see that the energy is new, it's brand new again. And so set your intentions for that. I like to tell people to set their intentions for what they would like to see in terms of their own self-development for their personal new year, because that's what that's about. It's about the self. It's about, how can I shine light on myself? How can I be my best self in my natural energy? And then you move towards the calendar new year. And so with the calendar new year, you just want to continue on the trajectory of working on those particular things in conjunction with the calendar year of the previous year, especially if your birthday hasn't rolled around yet, if that makes any sense. And then the astro new year. So in March is going to be the best time to start new things, launch new products, services, businesses, all that kind of stuff, because it has Aries energy sitting in there. Aries energy is cardinal fire. It's cardinal fire because Aries energy is ruled by the planet Mars, which is a planet of action. So being able to get shit done, initiating things, getting things going. And so you'll see the energy pick up in late March, early April. You see the energy pick up, and people are going to want to get to doing stuff, moving around and all that kind of stuff, okay? So keep that in mind, that in March is go time. So right now, the perfect thing to be doing is all the background work, all the administrative work, the development work, the testing phases and all that. This is the perfect time to do that because we're still in Mercury retrograde shadow. Even though Mercury has gone direct, it takes about 2 weeks for Mercury to actually really get going and moving. But during that time, you can still, do all the things that we tell you not to necessarily do or try to avoid doing Mercury retrograde. Signing contracts, getting your car, detailed, or getting a new phone or new laptop because Mercury rules small electronics. Okay. Okay, so March is when you initiate, you do all the things. Venus is direct, but again, that post shadow phase after it has gone direct, because when a planet stations direct, it's just turning around, right? It's just sitting there. It's going in a motion to get there, but it's not there all the way yet. So when it goes direct, and you give it some time to get out of that post-shadow phase, which is, basically it turning around and it gets to get into some forward motion, then everything is all in the clear. So I would say right now is the perfect time to develop, to strategize, to rework, to test. Okay? This is what this time is for. So you can still have whatever goals you have. Excuse me. But right now, just do the background work, all the admin stuff, all the boring shit you really don't want to do. Do that now. Taxes, all that kind of shit. And so when we get into March, by that time, you should have all your ducks in a row, all your testing going, all these things done. You mark your research, all of that. So that when March comes, hit the ground running with the quickness. So I hope this helps. I really do. I hope this helps. Y'all let me know down in the comments if you need some clarity, if the information made sense. I hope it did. I feel like it did. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram because I be on Instagram a lot. I'm really working on, getting my Instagram together. So follow me on Instagram at I Am Well Versed. It's the same name as my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell because I'm going to be coming out with more videos. The next video that I'm going to be having coming out is going to be about love and relationships, especially about the metaphysical and the occult portion of that, how you can help draw in love and romance, etc., etc. So don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell for that. Follow me on Instagrams. Go, we be doing a little something, a little razzle dazzle over there, a little razzle dazzle. But anyways, I want to thank y'all for watching and for supporting. And as always, peace and love and